tock, tick tock. The chances that I didn't take. Tick-tock, time is running out. Every second matters now. Tick-tock, tick-tock. One like fire, take it to the limit, gonna let it fly. On your mark, get ready, set, go. It's that time, everybody kick it and go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for is finally here. Welcome to the season opener of the DSA Cup Series Season 4. And we kick it off at none other than the World Center of Racing in Daytona Beach, Florida. See their practice. Chaos already starting to ensue. Season opener time. Get ready for some super speedway action-packed racing tonight. It will be an exciting one to watch. It is the DSA Daytona 250 presented by BoysAreBussing.com. 250 miles, 100 laps around Daytona International Speedway. It will consist of 2 stages. Stage 1, which will award bonus points for the top 10. It will end on lap 30. From there, we just go straight onto the checkered flag, where we will await our first victorious driver of Season 4. Guys, comment down below. Who do you think will be the driver that will be first victorious and will gain the first spot and trip to victory lane in Season 4 here live from Daytona? It's going to be an exciting one to watch. Practice and qualify, I believe, will take place at daytime. However, the race, I believe, will be nighttime. But we will have to fact check it. 32 drivers was the entry list for the duels. And tonight we're expecting that plus more, approximately around 36 or more drivers entering this Daytona 250. Those that participated in the duels 2 nights ago will auto-qualify in. The rest, if we have more than 8 drivers, they will have to regularly qualify themselves in. If they don't, they will not make the show. So you either have to wish that there's enough drivers for all of them to fit, or you have to wish that you have the pace to qualify yourself in if you did not participate in the Daytona duels 2 days ago. And of course, big thanks to our sponsors, BoysAreBuzzing.com, BRB Apparel, Apex Racing, Travis Daly Racing, and the DSA Cup Series in general. It is go time as we're about to hit 7 minutes left on the clock here in practice. Don't go anywhere. Qualifying for those that did not make the duels will be underway. Or actually, I believe we go straight into the race. I believe. Let me actually fact check him. Yeah, we go straight into the race. So race will begin momentarily. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. let's go ahead and kick things off, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, here is your starting grid for this Daytona 250. Pole position, it's Ricky Howell Jr. at the front row. Beside him will be Hunter Winkler. Row 2, Zachary Trevino, your Duel 1 winner, alongside Hector Collazo, your Duel 2 winner. Row 3, Joaquin Contreras and Ethan Soler. Row 4, your defending champion, Caleb Desai and Asa Beers. Row 5, Dustin Castile and Kevin Page. Row 6, Zachary Evans and Derek Sklottel. Row 7, Scotty Lanning and Logan Young. Row 8, Cole Christopher and Jaden Duran. Row 9, George Bark and William Crow. Row 10, it's Benji Miller and Mason Wilson. Row 11, it's Harold Wilson and Christopher Pasquarelli. Row 12, it's Hendrix Bromberg and Cody Banta. Row 13, it's Christian Bro and Presley Bromberg. Row 14, it's Travis Daly and Juan Campos. Row 15 is Damon Gilbert and Xavier Beauregard. Row 16 is Tim Pugil and Cody Payer. And rounding off the grid, row 17 is Chad Tubula and Nicholas Rode. Here we go, moment you've been waiting for. It all opens up here. Green flag waves, and the Daytona 250 is underway. The Daytona 250 officially complete, and already the pack has split up. Remember, 2 stages of racing. The first stage will only be 30 laps. The final stage will cover the last 70. But this front pack has detached themselves from the rest of the field. And it is go time here from the World Center of Racing. Hunter Winkler leads the charge. Ricky Howell Jr. behind him, he was your pole sitter. So it'll be Derek Scluttle with the current fastest lap of the race. Zach Trevino leading the outside. We've seen it time and time again at Daytona. The question now is, how long will this outside last before it starts to die out? And we'd have to go single file. You guys saw it at the duels 2 days ago. This rookie class absolutely stacked. Most of the veterans are back. It is looking to be a great season. As this second pack is mostly gonna be single file. This lead pack, though, refusing to do so. Here comes Zachary Trevino on the inside with Hector Collazo. Penske leading the charge at the bottom. Winkler will move to work at the top with Ethan Solar. As this second pack is gonna start to form as 3 wide there. And Beers falls back in line at the top. Beers, though, what a great maneuver that was. Slips through the middle, gets to the inside, and to the race lead goes the rookie in the 75. Trevino and Collazo, we've seen their teamwork. They were such a great team at 23XI. Now they're rebranded Penske, and you can tell whether it was Toyotas or whether it's now Fords, they'll continue to work greatly together. Penske is definitely a team to fear for this season. As the whole field now is practically going to go single file. Only 3 cars at the top. Those being Winkler, Solar, and Scluttle. "34 drivers in this race. And that outside is quickly gonna start to fade. Oh, hang on 1 second. Here comes Ricky Howell Jr. But Winkler, after Howell goes high, did not want to take the risk. Winkler will switch it up, and now that'll leave Ricky Howell Jr. alone at the top, as Ethan Solar will also find a home at the bottom. So it will just be Howell and Scluttle up there. They're gonna have to find a home there at the bottom. Howell does. In between Winkler and Solar he goes. Derek Scluttle still up there, and now he will settle in between Howell and Solar. Ace of Beers continues to lead this race. Looks like Scluttle wants to get that outside going, but so far, no one is willing to give. They all want to stay in their spots. It's a pretty lengthy race, 250 miles of action. There is no need to rush so far. And I assume everyone knows that. Drivers here at the back. The back is now going to start to form a little bit. Cody Van's a pressing bumper. some action here at the back. Ooh, Daly gets loose. Manages to recover, though. A little tap by William Crow behind him. The boss man in the new red and the 24 looking to make this season count after missing most of the playoffs last season. You can see there the front bumper of that number 5, that Xavier Beauregard, already with some front end damage. Ricky Howell Jr. still on the outside. Hunter Winkler trying to go with him. See if they can get that outside moving. There's Skluttle, your new race leader. I believe teammates with the 75 apiece appears. As here comes Ricky Howell Jr. getting the push by Hunter Winkler. The two sitters at the front row that got their spots in regular qualifying. Trying to get the run going. Howell forces himself there at the bottom. Goes back to the top. There's contact there between him and Trevino. Winkler finds a spot at the bottom in 4th. Howell still looking for a shot there up high, but this outside at the back is starting to form that may go up there to help him if he decides to stay up there, that is. Presley Bromberg in the 88 McDonald's ride leading the charge on the outside. His brother Hendrix Bromberg behind them in the 18 Wawa. And this outside is starting to get a run here at the front. And now we're gonna see some good racing action. Here come both lanes. It's gonna be a sprint now. Here comes Penske. They decide to go up high. Contreras will go with him. Trevino looking into the lead. Big push by his teammate. Can he get the clear to put himself and Hector at the bottom? Yes, he will. Penske moves down. Joaquin Contreras will force himself to the bottom as well. He'll settle for 3rd. Penske wants to take the lead and basically be in charge of this race as early as possible. Outside starting to fade just a tiny bit. We'll see if they can get that going once again. Scotty landing there in the mix in the 27. Oh, big moves here. Everyone's scrambling, landing into the wall on the outside there. The fastest laps are starting to come in. Chad Tubular, I should say, will get the fastest lap of the race so far. But this outside though, high lane is starting to die out again. Oh, trouble at the front! Scuttles around! And already a big one here at Daytona. Caution comes out, Skluttle spins, Trevino's involved, Contreras involved. And Havoc is starting to untangle and get loose here. take a look at the replay here in just a moment. Some reports here. Logan Young, one of the rookies that did very, very well in the duels. Meatball flag being shown to him. He's currently PA. He's going to have to come down pit road to fix that damage. Xavier Beauregard also had quite some big amount of damage there. Oh boy, stuff already starting to go wrong. Here's the replay of the incident. So, big movements there at the top. And Trevino goes around. And it'll just start everything to unfold. Christopher goes around. Contreras is involved. Trevino involved. We saw Sclottle there. See, there's the big hit to that 56 of Logan Young, which is what's going to cost that meatball flag. So many drivers involved in that one. Ethan Solar there, who was at the front. It is going to be a tough one to see like that. Multiple onboard looks there. That will be a pretty big and impactful first caution of the race. Almost everyone went down pit road. Of course, due to that, we'll see some new drivers here at the front. Dustin Castile currently with the race lead. Zachary Evans behind him, followed by Travis Daly. So good look so far for Travis Daly Racing. 3 of their drivers there at the top. Hunter Winkler was one of those that was running at the top, kind of be 4th. Mason Peters 5th. Howell in 6th. Desai in 7th. Pasquarelli moves up to the top 10. Collasso in 9. Logan Young, even though he had to come in for that damage and most likely use his fast repair, you will still have a spot inside that top 10 before we send it back to green here. So will be Dustin Castile that will lead us back to the green flag here to restart this Daytona 250. Presented by BoysAreBuzzing.com. Drivers though still on pit road. Juan Campos and Nicholas Rhodes still on pit road, 2 of the rookies. Here we go. So far, after that incident, it is a golden light for TDR. 3 of their drivers inside this top 3 now, including the boss man himself, who's going to restart this on the inside of row 2. Here we go. We're gonna go back to green here. Evans and Castile gonna roll into the TDR restart zone. And he launches it. Green flag back in the air here at Daytona. Both appear to be in equal footing at the start, but Evans will quickly take position. On the inside, Winkler stays up high. He's going to get a big push now by none other than Ricky Howell Jr. Oh, Winkler getting loose. Cameron Howell move to the bottom. Here comes the defending champion in the form of Caleb Desai. Hand it outside, get moving again after the restart. Not enough for run so far with that high lane. And Desai realizes it. He'll take a spot at the bottom in between Daly and Miller. We're not gonna try to go to the top. We'll settle back there. Some movement in the back that you always want to try and mitigate the most. Outside, gonna pull a big run here. Zachary Evans pushing Howell. Zachary Evans, one of the drivers that made the championship 4 last season. Could he kick off season 4 in one of the biggest ways after a Final Four appearance by winning the Daytona 250? And there's trouble in the back. Dustin Castillo cutting through the grass. Benji Miller gets lost up high, 3 wide. That will sure check up the field here. And now the battle for the lead begins once again. Hector Collazo leads the charge. Derek Sluttle will follow. But that 32 got shaky and will pay the price for it. No caution though, we stay green as we reach 9 to go in the opening stage. One of the major changes from this season to the previous one, 3 stages per race. It is just 2 stages per race. 3 wide there in the middle. Beers wants to make that move, and he will. The rookie putting on the moves. Another incredible move by Asa Beers to reach the top. He'll link up with Splunk here once again. There, someone clipped the apron. I believe that was Pasquarelli. But someone definitely clipped the apron there. That could have been very, very dangerous. Evan's gonna lose a couple spots here. Went from the top, now back to P8. Lost about 8 spots there, and he'll continue losing them as he is up mid-highway, a home in the bottom, and now he will do so. Here comes Winkler. Gonna try and make the outside work. Sclotto tries to block it. Could have been risky. And contact. Sclotto goes around. Can he save it? Caution comes out. And he does. Unbelievable. How in the world did he save that? Derek Sclotto keeps the 73 straight. How in the world did he manage to save that?
This won't be the stage. It was more than 5 to go.
Caution will still come out. But what an incredible save by Derek Sclotto. As you said, as you heard race control there in the radio, this will not be the caution for the stage just yet. But the next one will surely end it early. Let's take a look at that replay. How did he manage to save that? So this is Derek Sclotto. Gets lost there in the middle. 3 wide. Gets bumped by Beers. He is sideways. Misses Cayasso. Still struggling to get that car under control. And now he does. Everyone gets out of there unscathed. Unbelievable. Just absolutely unbelievable. I want to see that steering wheel work, if possible here. Unbelievable control. Well, that will bring out the second caution of the night. A couple drivers go down pit road. And so it'll be Hunter Winkler, who looks to be the one to lead us back to the green flag here. Here we go, gonna be 1 to green this time by, if I'm not mistaken, but what a save by Derek Sclotto. We'll be right back as we continue the action here in the opening stage of the Daytona 250 live from DSA Racing Group. Come on back here to the Daytona 250 as we're just about to go underway here once again. We are gonna load into the race, into the TDR restart zone. Green flag waves, and we're back to racing here in the opening stage. Next flag will end it. Here you go. Halloween side by side. Great launch from both, as Spears and Daly will follow behind them. As now we're about to see a fight for the stage. The top 10 get points. Stage winner getting 10 points. 10th place getting 1 point, and so forth. Oh, in trouble! Ricky Howell Jr., the race leader, goes around. Hunter Winkler as well. And it's another big incident right before the stage end. And that just shook up the entire order of those that were going to receive points. Tons of drivers involved. Ricky Howell Jr., Hunter Winkler, Harold Wilson, Christian Bro, Dustin Castillo, George Bork, Chad Tubalia.
That's the end of stage, guys.
And there is confirmation of race control. That will be the end of the opening stage. That is not a way of how you want to end this stage. We'll take a replay of that in just a minute. So as it stands, it looks like Asa Beers will be our stage winner, and you can imagine that everyone is gonna come down pit road. And here we go. We're gonna have a pretty deep sprint here for a race off pit road here. Scotty Lanning stays out and is, as of right now, the only one to do so. Zachary Evans will also stay out. Benji Miller stays out. Dustin Castile stays out. Their Scletta will be the first one off pit road. Hector Criasso and Hendrix Bromberg will quickly follow. Or sorry, Travis Daly will quickly follow. But here's the replay of the incident here. It is just carnage all around the racetrack. And it happens so fast. Here's a more clearer look. Ricky Howell Jr. looks like Beers just pushing too hard for Howell's liking, accidentally turns him. And everyone has to take cover. You see Harold Wilson, just big impact with Winkler there. Lanning gets spun around. And right before he could have gotten big stage points, the pole sitter gonna receive some damage. Oh boy. That is a wild, wild onboard ride. Scotty Lanning will go down pit road this time by, as we're going to be 1 to green, and that will give Zachary Evans the control of the start here. Asa Beer is going to receive a black flag. I believe he got an end-of-line penalty for the incident. I believe he got an additional penalty for what I'm assuming was speeding on pit road. See, wave rounds being issued on the bottom left of your screen. Here's the race recap as we go into the second stage of this race. It is now going to be 70 laps all the way to the checkered flag. Zachary Evans will be your race leader coming to the green flag. 3 cautions so far for 9 laps. 8 lead changes so far, as the yellow will actually continue to be waved here as race control will call off the start. We'll see if they go next time by instead. Don't go anywhere, folks. Second stage of the Daytona 250, presented by BoysStartBussing.com. Going your way here in just a couple of moments here in the DSA Cup Series. And as you can probably tell here, night skies starting to come through here at Daytona International Speedway. So it looks like we will definitely have a finish under the lights from the World Center of Racing to crown our first race winner of Season 4. Here we go. No word from race control as of right now, which means this time by, we will be going green. Lights are off. And it is showtime here once again. Zachary Evans will lead us into the TDR restart zone as we are green flag once again. Benji Miller quickly finds a spot there at the bottom, but that will leave the outside hanging. This is going to be Hendricks Bromberg who's going to have to get the work going now. Hector. Scluttle trying to get the outside working. We've seen him try that. As of right now, all race long. In companionship with Asa Beers. However, Beers picking up that penalty. He's going to be at the back. Beers is currently in 23rd. So Scluttle's going to have to find a way to get this going without him. However, great pushes by Hendricks Bromberg alongside Hector Collazo here. And they clear Evans for this lead. Scluttle is going to have the choice. He will go to the bottom, but Bromberg and Collazo will keep on pushing on that outside. And the 18 now going to take the lead. He decides he wants to go to the bottom. Hector now has a shot at getting this race lead for Penske. William Crow behind them alongside Chad Tubalia, who is now in third. And he will move to the bottom. Tubalia, one of the rookies, trying to make a statement. He was outside the top 10, outside the top 20 at some point, and now to the race lead goes the 22. Bromberg still in second. Hector still trying to make that top lane work. 3 wide there in the back with Howell in the middle. Does not want a repeat from last time. He will quickly find his way into the top. Still there in the back. Tubalia moves to the outside, tries to block it. Back to the inside. Just trying to keep both lanes at bay. Will he be able to succeed, though? Here comes Hector Collazo getting pushed by Scluttle. Big pushes by that 73. Side by side. Gonna be coming out of turn 4. Hector has the edge. Scluttle doing such an incredible job at pushing those in front of him. And Scluttle gonna pull the move to go into the inside and take the lead. Zachary Evans there in 5th. Tubalia wants that lead back, side by side, moves to the outside. Here comes Hector trying to give it a push. Tubalia's too high up the track, though. We are still 3 wide here in the back, and caution comes out. Big wrecking in the back. Will be an incident in the back that will cause the 4th caution of the night to come on out here in this Daytona 250. Let's see what exactly happened here. So this is the back of the pack. And cars starting to go for a spin. That is Kevin Page. I believe that's Asa Beers as well. Logan Young also involved. You see their contact by George Burke as well as Asa Beers, who was having such an incredible race. Now getting caught up in more wreckage. Here's a closer look. It's contact with Kevin Page. And that is what's going to cause the issue here. Chad Tubalia will be your race leader here. Coming into the restart, Hendricks Bromberg behind him. Zachary Evans still in a podium spot. A great run as well by William Crow. Dustin Castillo finding himself back inside the top 5. And it's Christian Bro who has been fairly quiet this race. Ricky Howell Jr. making his way back into the top 10. Ethan Soler, Joaquin Contreras, and Xavier Beauregard going to round off the top 10 as of right now. Will be 1 to green this time by as the action continues from the World Center of Racing. Hendricks Bromberg gonna restart at the front row there on the outside. Bromberg last season, 1 win to his name, 7 top 5s, 13 top 10s. Can he have a better season this time around? That is what he is hoping for. Green flag waves, and we're back to racing speed here at Daytona. 60 laps to go. Bromberg quickly takes over the bottom. And to the race lead he goes. William Crow leading the outside. Christian Bro there. Again, that number 20 has been fairly quiet this race. But do not count him out whatsoever. One of the most hard-hitting rookies we've seen. As we're going to be 3 wide. There in the back. As we're about to reach the halfway point of this race, sun is going down. Let's go into some crank it up action here in the Daytona 250, presented by BoysAreBussing.com. was there in the middle, and it's continuing to be there. Just the tiniest bits there. Kevin Page, Benji Miller, and George Bark. That outside is moving. Now the 3 wide will settle back to just 2 rows. There's Cluttle, still in control of this race. Tried to go for the block, couldn't get there. He's gonna have to go back to the bottom. George Park with an insane momentum, and the teammates are back together to reach the top. George Bark and Damon Gilbert. We've seen the teamwork that these two did last season, and they are back at it. It took us a while to see when they will start to put the pressure on, and here they go. Bark and Gilbert back together again to the race lead. They go. Can anyone stop that pair? See their big push by Beers to Scluttle. Beers slowly making himself back to the top here. That was a ginormous push. I don't know if it was there, but I think I saw a little dent there at the front of Beers. I'm gonna assume that was previously there though, as we have officially reached the halfway point of this race. 49 laps to go here at Daytona, as the sun continues to settle down. Joaquin Contreras in control of that outside lane, but it is going nowhere as of right now. It is fading and fast. Fastest lap of the race being put up. William Crow not going to grab the fastest lap of the race. Being 45.6, and there's trouble. William Crow and company involved massive damage to that 85, and it is an engine blown. Kevin Page also with a ton of damage. Cody Banta also has a ton of damage. And the caution will come out. Take a look at the replay here in just a moment. So here is the replay of the incident. So contact between Page and I believe that's Caleb Desai. It is Desai. Contact between Page and Desai. Kevin Page just gets shut up into the track straight into the 85 of William Crow. And here comes the 15 of Cody Banta. Oh my goodness! Big contact between Cody Banta and Kevin Page. 2 wheels went airborne for that 15. Big damage. That is unreal. That is unreal. Massive hit. This is the onboard camera. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is by far the hardest hit already in the season. Here we go, gonna be 1 to green this time by George Park and Damon Gilbert, still in control of this race. Presley Bromberg is gonna find himself in a podium spot. Hunter Winkler back to the top. Jaden Duran, who has been very quiet this race, is gonna find himself inside the top 5. And Zachary Evans, Hendricks Bromberg, Hector Viasso, Joaquin Contreras, and Benji Miller, Zachary Trevino as well. So Penske gonna get bundled up here. Could this be a fight between pairs, pair versus pair? Gilbert and Bork versus the Penske pair of Chiasso and Trevino. That would be an exciting matchup to see. Here we go. Gilbert gonna be on the inside. Bark on the outside. However, I believe that it is George Bark who will be in control of this restart. He will just choose to go to the outside, which I believe he will be the first driver to do so. But that was a potential night ender for those 3, Crow, Banta, and Page, unless they use their faster pair, in which case, in that situation they had to. There was no other alternatives. But they are going to be laps down. So 4 cars that are going to be 2 laps down now. They will join Kawan Campos, who has been trying to go back to the front of this race ever since then. Tim Buchel is going to be the other one that will be laps down. He will be 5, however, so he still has a long way to go before we can see the lead lap. Here we go. We're gonna be rolling into the TDR restart zone. Green flag is waving once again. At the top, Gilbert is going to quickly give him a spot at the bottom. Hunter Winkler, who was their older teammate, is going to try to go with him. Winkler getting pushed by Presley Bromberg. And Winkler to the lead he goes. Slight connectivity issues. I'm trying to resolve them as much as I can. Should be slightly better to go here. Oh, and alrighty. We're just trying to pull the stream back here. We should be at least better. Just random internet spikes. We love those. But caution will come out. 3 drivers will receive a lot of damage that they will be shown meatball flags. Those being a Ricky Howell Jr., your pole sitter, Asa Beers, and Cody Banta. So Cody Banta involved in a big incident for the second time. Asa Beers, who was doing so well, involved. And your pole sitter, Ricky Howell Jr., involved. And that will be the 6th caution of the night. Let's see if we can pull up the replay here. So this was the replay. Ethan Solar goes around. Asa Beers involved. Logan Young. So many drivers involved. Cody Payer, I believe, was also involved there. It is just havoc. Wow. But here we go. Apologize for that, guys. We should be better in regards with the connectivity issues. We are getting ready to kick it off once again. Here we go. Hunter Winkler on the outside. George Park on the inside. They're going to be rolling into the TDR restart zone. We are green flag once again. Less than 40 laps to go. And we are officially completely under the lights. Here at Daytona, Winkler quickly moves to the bottom, tries to block it, and he does. He has a 1-on-2 matchup right now between Park and Gilbert. Winkler back up top. So far, so good. Trying to block both. Gilbert gives him a push. Winkler still up there at the top. Moves down below. Jaden Duran now on the outside. He's going to find himself in a podium spot for the very first time tonight. Can that outside start moving here? Duran getting pushed by Presley Bromberg at the top. And Hunter Winkler, he has a ton of big hitting drivers behind him. Gilbert, Bark, Cuyasso. Trevino is not far behind. Duran. Some rookies now are getting into the mix here. Chad Tubalia making his way back. Nicholas Rode inside the top 10 for the very first time. Here we go. Duran and Miller side by side. Look at this insane run by Jaden Duran. Big push by Presley Bromberg. Benji Miller. Stuff there in the back gets shaky. Jaden Duran, can he clear Winkler? He does! Jaden Duran is your new race leader with 35 laps to go. Benji Miller got shaken up, no caution. He will recover that 11. But what a push and what a run on that outside lane to get that 19 to the front for the very first time. Jaden Duran had some hardware issues, could not finish last season and was so disappointed. Now, with his brand new steering wheel, he said that he was very excited for this season. And the only thing he wanted was to put that 19 in a championship winning spot. Presley Bromberg going to continue to work on the top. But ladies and gentlemen, we're about to approach 30 laps to go. If you haven't already, comment down below in the live chat. Who do you think is winning this Daytona 250? Who do you think will be the first driver to reach victory lane, as here comes Hunter Winkler now at the top, working with Presley Bromberg. And they will both move to the bottom. Hunter Winkler retakes the race lead. Hendricks Bromberg to the top. Presley gonna go with him. Here come the Bromberg brothers on the top. It is anyone and everyone's fight. Oh, contact between Winkler and Howell. Everything gets shaky. They managed to recover, though. That was a very scary moment. And that would have been very bad for Ricky Howell Jr. as he's currently trying to unlap himself. Which he will. Ricky Howell Jr. to the front, but he is one lap down. Derek Sklodel also a lap down. Presley Bromberg is your new race leader. But that 1 in 73, they're trying to unlap themselves, but they have to get out of the way of these leaders. Contact between Presley and Winkler as they're trying to work out of these two lap cars. Actually, no, Derek Skladdle is in the race lead now. So Ricky Howell Jr. will still be laps down, however. Hunter Winkler pushing Sklodel. How will they find a way to get past this number one? Some more lap traffic gonna come into play soon enough. "30 laps to go." Logan Young gets out of the way. Hendricks Bromberg on the attack at the top. Hunter Winkler will go with him. Here comes the run of the outside lane. Ricky Howell Jr. playing the blocking game while being laps down. And here comes Derek Sklodel now. Howell opens up the bottom for him. He's going to retake the lead. Winkler trying to get by him. Winkler goes back to the lead. Hendricks Bromberg still working at the top. Caleb Desai now getting into the mix. Cole Christopher as well. Here comes Sklodel. And he will start to fade on that outside. Caleb Desai trying to push him. Cole Christopher there at the bottom. Winkler to the outside to try and get past Ricky Howell Jr. The leader's gotta work around him, and he will. Hunter Winkler back to the race lead, gets past the number 1. Here comes Derek Sklobo, side by side through 1 and 2. Here comes Hendricks Bromberg and Jaden Duran to the bottom. Caleb Desai got a little loose there. Ricky Howell Jr. playing it aggressively here, even though he's laps down. Skluttle to the lead. Skluttle still in the lead. Hunter Winkler will go with him. Ricky Howell Jr. gonna get lost there in the middle. Caleb Desai. Now it's gonna be the 1-up loss at the top, but he finds himself home. Skluttle got very loose there. Time and time again, drivers getting put in scary situations. As Skluttle now tries to play the blocking game, trying to block Howell, won't work. Howell getting pushed by Gilbert and Bark, who are back at it again at the top. 25 laps to go. Here comes Damon Gilbert. Side by side for the race lead. Great pushes by George Park and Damon Gilbert. And Gilbert will be your new race leader. Here comes some lap traffic. That will be the 9 of Kawan Campos. Here comes Jaden Duran and Caleb Desai working at the top. Oh, Duran got a little loose. We've seen it. We've seen Desai and Duran work well together. As here comes Benji Miller, who will now be a lap down. The top 24 will be the ones to remain on the lead lap. Jaden Duran lost a ton of spots there. David Gilbert, George Park, and Hunter Winkler will separate themselves just a tiny bit. And there is some history here. All 3 of these drivers previously in Dragonfly Racing. At the end of the final 4, Hunter Winkler said he was disappointed with his performance. He felt like his teammates abandoned him in the final 4 championship race at Homestead. He said he felt betrayed and he felt like he got abandoned by the team. So we'll see how he decides to work with Bark and Gilbert here. Gilbert and Winkler, 2 of the final 4 from last season, now in a podium spot. Oh, in trouble! Contact between Derek Skluttle and Presley Bromberg. And that will throw out the caution. That will be the 7th caution of the night. And they will both still keep their cars rolling. But there has to be even a little bit of damage still there. we'll take a look at the replay here in just a minute. And here it is. So what exactly happened here? Here's the replay. Oh, Presley Bromberg just... I don't think he got tapped. I think he just got loose. If he did get tapped, it was just a slight tap by the 83 of Harold Wilson behind him. And that will just drive Scluttle into the outside wall, which will cause the caution to come out. So a relatively simpler yellow flag here. And we're going to see a huge race off pit road. Meeple flag being shown, however, to Derek Scluttle. He does have some damage that he has to repair from that impact. But who wins this race off pit road? Absolutely everyone goes down. Damon Gilbert wins the race. So Damon Gilbert and George Buck bundled up together again. Gilbert will win the race off pit road. It will be followed up by Caleb Desai. Then Hendricks Bromberg, Harold Wilson, who finds himself into the top 5 for the first time. Then Derek Scluttle, who has fixed up his damage. I can assume fast repair also is there. Followed by Hunter Winkler, who has still been consistently inside this top 10 tonight. Then it will be Chad Tubalia, followed by Jaden Duran and Zachary Trevino will round off the top 10. Gotta tell you what, though, it is without a doubt and 100% certain that Chad Tubalia has been by far the most impactful rookie here tonight. Led a couple laps. Not a bad way to start off the season. Here's the race recap. The bottom right of your screen. We're gonna be restarting this race with 18 laps to go. Here you go, boys. 18 laps to go remaining in this Daytona 250. Don't go anywhere. Green flag will be waved once again in a couple of minutes. Here we go. 18 laps to go on what has been an incredible action-packed Daytona 250. Here from the World Center of Racing in this season opener, we're going to roll into the TDR restart zone, and green flag is going to wave once again in the air. Damon Gilbert, great start on the outside. George Burke going to let him take sole possession of the bottom. Here comes Hendricks Bromberg, working at the top. You can only imagine that in a couple laps time, this will be an all-out brawl to the checkered flag for the win. Top 25 drivers on the lead lap. Only 2 DNFs so far this race, those being Cody Banta and Asa Beers. Beers especially, after having such an incredible race at the start and such an incredible rookie debut. It's gonna DNF here at the 250. The sprint continues. It is still anyone's race. Here comes Derek Skluttle getting pushed at the top. Hendricks Bromberg trying to get him up there. Is Skluttle clear? No, he is not. George Park and Damon Gilbert still applying the pressure at the bottom. Oh, in trouble! Harold Wilson gets turned around in the back. And caution comes out. A big hit for the 83. And that will be the 8th caution of the night. Harold Wilson spun around into the outside wall. I don't think there was anyone else involved in it, thankfully. But now we will get regrouped. And we will have approximately 10 laps to go here in the Daytona 250, presented by BoysAreBuzzing.com. Here's the replay of the incident. See if we can get a clearer view here. So here it is. Oh, he just gets slightly clipped by the 17 of Hunter Winkler. Zachary Trevino gets launched up there into the outside wall. Everyone else is out of there with no damage. But that slight clip from Winkler is all it takes for the 83 to go spinning. Massive hit, engine blown. And he's gonna have to tow it back to pit road. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we are gonna be just a couple of laps away before we crown ourselves the first race winner of Season 4. Don't go anywhere to see how this culminates here at Daytona. We'll be right back for some more racing action in the closing laps of this race.
Each wasteland. Sally, take my hand. We'll travel south cross land. Put out the fire. Don't look past my shoulder. The exodus is here.
Here we go. We're gonna go back to racing action here. The closing stages of this race will be determined right here, right now. Here we go. Damon Gilbert and Derek Scluttle at the front row will lead us into the TDR restart zone. Green flag once again waves. 12 laps to go here at the World Center of Racing. Gilbert gets the better start. Scluttle still side by side, even throughout the backstretch. Bromberg getting big pushes. Tubolia still there. Contact, and this is going to be a big one. And here they go. Caution comes out. Contact between Scluttle and Gilbert. And all hell breaks loose. Christian Bro involved. Christopher Pasquarelli involved. Cole Christopher involved. Dustin Castile. Kawan Campos. That will be the 9th caution of the night. And now everyone will get regrouped once again, and now the pressure really will be on, as we will have less than 10 laps to go when we send it off back to green. So here is the replay. And this is what happened in the back. Obviously, Scluttle and Gilbert make contact. Everyone shakes up. The 21 gets spun around. That 21 will be Nicholas Rode, who gets clipped by Pasquarelli. Campos gets turned around. Castile involved in there as well. There goes Christian Bro. Cole Christopher, I believe Zachary Trevino also got a slight piece of it. Another devastating incident that may have just ruined more races for these guys. You see, there's just them watching that happen up front, and that tiny little checkup is all it takes for everything to go haywire in that moment. It is just so unfortunate to see, especially with all of these drivers mostly having good races ran. It will be Hendricks, Bromberg at the front of this field that will lead us back to green. George Park behind him. And Damon Gilbert, his teammate, behind him as well. So that whole podium spot covered by Chevys. Caleb Desai will be the highest up Toyota in 4th. Chad Tubalia will be the highest up Ford in 5th. It will be Jaden Duran just shy of the top 5. Joaquin Contreras in 7th, followed by Hunter Winkler. Travis Daly inside the top 10. Ethan Solar finding himself back into the top 10. Same with Contreras as well. Contreras hasn't been in the top 10 in a while as well. Lights are off. Going green this time by. And we will restart this race with just 8 laps remaining. It's gonna be a fun time. Here we go. George Bark gonna be side by side with Hendrix Bromberg. George Bark just barely missed the playoffs last season, but still a great season for him in his rookie season. 2 wins, 8 top 5s, 11 top 10s for now the 44, which was previously the 74. Closing stages are among us. It is now go time. It is all or nothing in these next couple of laps to end it all. We, ladies and gentlemen, are going to be rolling into the TDR restart zone. Green flag is back underway. Great start for both Bromberg and Bark. Side by side through 1 and 2. Bark getting a push of a lifetime by Caleb Desai. However, Bromberg is through. Damon Gilbert with the push. Jaden Duran goes up to the outside. The race is on. Here comes Damon Gilbert. He's going to get bundled up with his teammate. Gilbert moves to the bottom. Bromberg had to make a choice. Oh, and havoc happens behind him. Caution comes out. Xavier Beauregard involved. Scotty Lanning also involved as well. And the caution numbers will reach the double digits. 10th caution of the night comes out with just under 8 laps to go. Which means that now it really will be a sprint to the checkered flag, where everyone will be hungry for this. Looks like it will be Damon Gilbert who has the race lead at the time that the caution came out. But here is the replay. So let's pay close attention here. What exactly happened? It's contact in the back between two drivers. Xavier Beauregard is one of them. Oh, it's Zachary Evans involved in it as well. So Beauregard involved, Evans involved. You see Hector Collazo there out on in the number 2. Kawan Campos can't do anything about it. He gets hit by that spinning 5. And just previously, just like what happened earlier in the race, Hector Collazo is gonna go airborne. 2 wheels in the air. Oh my. Unbelievable. Tried to avoid it, but those bumps there on the infield just was too much for him to handle and recover that car. Understandably so. Well, just a couple more laps left. This time by, I believe, will be 1 to green. And it will be. Lights are off. Ladies and gentlemen, we will restart this race with just 3 laps to go. Next caution will be overtime. Oh, and there's contact under the yellow flag. Derek Skluttle and Benji Miller get into it under pace car. Race control is gonna definitely want to take a look at that. But 3 laps to go. It will all come down to this. You can feel it in the air, and you can only assume that these drivers are feeling it too. Damon Gilbert and Hendrix Bromper at the front row. We will have 3 laps to go here at Daytona. 7.5 miles of racing action left. If a caution comes out here, we will go into overtime. going into the TDR restart zone for potentially the final time. Green flag waves. We're back to racing speeds. Gilbert gets the better start. Bork and Gilbert move to the bottom. Joaquin Contreras also goes with them. Here comes Travis Daly and Ricky Howell Jr. Howell making an absolute comeback of a drive. Trying to get that outside working. They're getting squiggly though, they're at the bottom. Gilbert hanging on. 2 laps to go. Here comes the push. Travis Daly. Contreras gets spin around. And a caution comes out. And it is all sorts of havoc. And that just ruined a ton of drivers' races right there. That inside was getting too shaky, and what you feared what might have happened will end up happening. Joaquin Contreras gets turned, and the whole bottom half of the field is scattered across the track. That will be the 11th caution of the night. Yellow flag will come flying out right before the white flag opportunity. And that just means one thing and one thing only. We are going into overtime for the first race of the season. What a push by Travis Daly. What a bump by Ricky Howell Jr. What a comeback drive. We thought Ricky Howell was completely out of this. He just made the comeback of a century. Can he pull it off? And after all those misfortunes, ultimately turned that pole position into a race win. Here is the replay. Joaquin Contreras gets turned. Hendricks Bromberg involved, and it is just absolute chaos after that. You see Bromberg, Road. Cole Christopher getting a little bit of contact. Jaden Duran having to go and hop through the grass. Pasquarelli also getting on the grass there. Trevino having some damage. You see Cody Perry and Xavier Beauregard there as well. Let's take an onboard look from the onboard camera of that 97 of Joaquin Contreras. Well, ladies and gentlemen, race ain't over just yet. We are gonna go into overtime. Out of 3. Here we go. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. First race of the season will come down to overtime. Rules of overtime: if we reach the white flag, no caution will be called. Everyone races all the way to the line. If a caution comes out before the white flag, we will retry again. Only 3 shots of overtime do these drivers get. If a caution comes out after the final overtime shot, race will end under the yellow flag. Here we go. Green flag, back in the air, and havoc already ensues right at the start. Right on the restart. George Bark is turned around. Caleb DeSai involved. A ton of big names involved. And just like that, 1 shot of overtime is wasted. Drivers got too impatient. And that will cost the 12th caution of the night. And just like that, we're already moving on to overtime shot number 2. Patience is key. And they are gonna pay for it. Here's the replay of the incident. Right at the start, Ethan Solar, George Bark, Caleb DeSai. Havoc ensues immediately right as the green flag is waved. See Solar going back up track, heading DeSai. Collazo having to cut through the grass. Castillo and Contreras. Tubalia as well. That is just so unfortunate for everyone involved there. Cody Payer into the wall. That is just unbelievable. That's just a mistake that you cannot afford to happen. See, their Solar and Collazo quickly realized that they tried to go to the apron as quickly as possible. They're in the back. Contreras just spins himself on the nose of Hendricks Bromberg. It is just havoc all around the racetrack. Well, folks, this is not done just yet. Second shot of overtime is coming your way soon enough. We'll be right back to finish off this season opener at Daytona. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. It is shot number 2 at overtime. Will this be the one where it ends? We are about to find out into the TDR restart zone. Green flag is waved. And we're back underway. 2 laps to go. Overtime 2. Everyone is going to go for this. If a caution comes out, we go into the final overtime. If the white flag waves, we race to the line. Hunter Winkler around, and there it goes. And caution will come out in the backstretch. Hunter Winkler, one of the top drivers this race, gets spun around in the backstretch. It was 3 wide from the get-go. And caution will come out. We will go into the final attempt. Ricky Howell Jr., a comeback of a drive. He is your new race leader. And now, if you didn't have pressure beforehand, now you really do have pressure. So Ricky Howell Jr., new race leader. Travis Daly behind him, followed by Presley Bromberg, Derek Scluttle, Damon Gilbert. Then it's Zachary Trevino, Nicholas Rode, Benji Miller, Zachary Evans, and Hector Collazo rounds off the top 10. As we are getting ready to go into the final overtime attempt. No room for error. And this is exactly the spot that you want to see if you're Ricky Howell Jr. Ricky Howell Jr. joined late into the Cup season last time around. No wins, only 1 top 5, 4 top 10s. However, where he shined was the Truck Series, as Ricky Howell Jr. is your reigning and defending DSA Truck Series champion. But a win right here, how good would that feel to start strong and make your mark in the Cup Series? It will be 1 to green this time by. Ladies and gentlemen, grab your popcorn, grab whatever you can, It will be a showdown all the way until whatever the next flag will be. One to green, this time by Ricky Howell in the driver's seat. The ideal place, because if a caution comes out here, it's over. Here we go. It is showtime. Under the lights from the World Center of Racing. Final overtime. It doesn't matter what flag comes after this. If we see the white flag, it will be the ultimate sprint to the checkered flag and for the win. If a caution comes out, it is over. And the person in the lead at the time of the caution coming out will be your race winner under the yellow flag. Here we go. Nothing to lose. It is all or nothing here. Five miles of racing, 2 laps to finish it all. Travis Daly and Ricky Howell Jr. at the front row. 34 drivers entered. Only one gets to be crowned a Daytona 250 race winner. Into the TDR restart zone for the final time. Green flag is out. Here we go. Both on equal footing. Side by side through turns 1 and 2. Daly up ahead, getting pushed by Scluttle. We may have a photo finish here, boys. Daly to the lead. Here comes the outside lane. Ricky Howell gets turned around. Caution comes out. Havoc happens behind him. And I believe Derek Scluttle will have it. Caution comes out right before the white flag. And it is over. Had the lead right where he wanted it. Derek Scluttle is a Daytona 250 race winner. He only needed the lead when it mattered the most. And even though it will end under the yellow, what a sight that was. Let's see if we can get it here. Derek Scluttle. Green, green, and that is when the caution comes out. That will do it. across the line to make it official. Was the leader when he needed to be the leader. Derek Skluttle wins the Daytona 250, presented by BoysAreBussing.com. What a finish. Unbelievable scenes from the World Center of Racing.
I'm on the hot chase. I got to know just how the danger tastes. Yeah, I'ma do whatever it takes. Tick-tock, time is running out. Every second matters now. Tick-tock, tick-tock. Take it to the limit, gonna let it fly. Get ready, set, go. It's that time. Everybody kicking into overdrive. On your mark. Get ready, set,
And he will absolutely burn this down. It is a heartbreak for Travis Daly. He was just mere inches away from what could have been the race win.
do it my
Derek Skluttle, right place, right time. He is your Daytona 250 race winner to open up Season 4 of the DSA Cup Series. Unbelievable scenes.
tick-tock.
Well, let's go into the results here. We take a closer look at the finishing results. Derek Skluttle, your race winner. It is P2 for Travis Daly. Zachary Trevino finishes P3. Then it's Benji Miller, Nicholas Rode finishing inside the top 5. Then it's Ricky Howell Jr., Zachary Evans, Hector Collazo, George Bark, and Cody Payer. Then it's Joaquin Contreras, Mason Wilson, Hunter Winkler, Caleb Desai, Kevin Page, Jaden Duran, Presley Bromberg, Cole Christopher, William Crow, and Christopher Pasquarelli, rounding off the top 20. That's Xavier Beauregard, Hendrix Bromberg, Dustin Castile, Damon Gilbert, Ethan Solar, Kawan Campos, Christian Bro, Scotty Lanning, Harold Wilson, and Logan Young. The top 30. Final spots, Tim Fugel, Asa Beers, Cody Banta, and Chad Tubalia. Rounding off the grid. But what scenes for Derek Skluttle. Let's try and get him on up here if we can. What an absolute finish. Let's get him on up here.
Yeah.
Derek, can you hear us?
Hey, what's up?
There we go. Derek, right place, right time, exactly where you needed to be when the yellow flag waves. You are the Daytona 250 race winner, presented by boysforbossing.com. How does it feel to be the first person to grab a trip to victory lane this season and a way to do it like that?
It feels great. I mean, it was a really controversial race for me. I mean, I feel like every single driver today was upset at me, but I mean, after all, everything I went through this race, I still pulled it off. Right place, right time, like you said, and brought home this race.
Now, you saw the havoc unfold behind you, I assume, on that rear view mirrors. Did you think that you were ahead of the 24 of Travis Daly for the win, or what was your overall reaction when you figured out that you had just won this race under the yellow flag?
I mean, I was like speechless. I mean, it was really close when the caution came out between me and Daly, but once I crossed the line, I saw I was in first. Yeah, I was really happy that I won the race, obviously, and it's great to win the first race of the season.
Just like that, you are the first one to strike. You grab your first win of the season here, and what a way to do it at such a big event like this one. Derek, is there any final shoutouts that you would like to do?
I'd like to shout out my team owner, Asa Bears. He's the reason why I'm here on this team. He helped me like way back in the race before he wrecked out, unfortunately. But thanks to him and you for commentating this broadcast. You do an amazing job, and yeah, that's it.
Thank you very much. There it is, ladies and gentlemen, once again. Derek Skluttle, your Daytona 250 race winner. The first one to strike in Season 4 of the DSA Cup Series. Derek, go enjoy that trip to victory lane, my man.
Thank you.
Let's try and grab Travis Daly up here. Travis, this is the voice in the broadcast booth. Do you hear me?
Hey, I got you.
Travis, just mere inches away from what could have been you grabbing the Daytona 250 win here tonight. How does it feel to finish in P2 after a finish like that? And how does it feel to still grab an amazing podium result here?
Yeah, it's a little bittersweet. Was definitely not hoping for all those overtimes at the end. And then that last restart, I was trying to drop down and pick up Ricky and bring him along. Probably should have stayed on the high side, and I probably would have had the win, especially with that caution coming out when it did. But it is what it is. I started back in like, I don't know, 29th or something like that tonight. Had a bad run in the duels, so to come back and finish second, I'll take it.
And obviously, as we just heard you mention, you wish that overtimes didn't come into play. You would have had this race won potentially if those extra overtimes came into play. But say we reached the final overtime regardless in any way, shape, or form. Is there any way that in that final lap between you and Derek that you could have done something differently to ensure that you were ahead of him when that caution came out?
Oh, for sure. I mean, he had damage on the front of his car, so I think if he would have tried to pull out to pass me, I think he would have parachuted. So I'm pretty positive if I would have stayed in front of him that I probably would have came home with the win. But it's decisions, and that's racing. And yeah, I got to live with your decisions. So it is what it is.
Not the win that you would have wanted, but it's still a great result, especially after having you back from missing the playoffs. But a great podium for you here at the Daytona 250 to kick off Season 4. Travis, is there any final shout-outs that you would like to do?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I just want to shout out the whole TDR team. Everybody has done a fantastic job preparing for this season and getting ready, putting some practice hours in and things like that. So very proud of everybody on the team. Want to shout out to our sponsors, everything. But everybody just go give us a follow on Facebook, Travis Daly Racing. We got discounts, we got links, we got everything to help you out. So just want to shout everybody out and appreciate everybody putting everything on. You guys broadcasting and admins for putting the league on.
Alrighty, thank you very much for your time up here. Travis Daly, you're a runner-up here in the Daytona 250. Go celebrate that great finish.
Thank you, sir.
And I believe that will be it. I do not see Zachary Trevino up here. But still, what a race that was. Derek Spluttle, the man on top of the world. He will be the first one to grab a trip to victory lane. And he will do it in a successful fashion after that. An unbelievable finish. And he will be your race winner here at Daytona. But that will be it from tonight in the World Center of Racing. Thank you everyone for tuning in. What a race this was. I don't think there could be a better way to open up a season like that. But with that being said, thank you guys for coming in and tuning into the live stream. We'll be back with some more. Tune in to round 2 Tuesday night at Texas Motor Speedway. That being said, it was Dwayne Crespo, your voice up here in the broadcast booth, and we will see you all next week. Peace out, guys. Have a wonderful rest of your night.